Good afternoon from the KELOLAND Live Doppler Storm Center on a warm afternoon. Temperatures already in the 70s to near 80 degrees. These temperatures will continue to go up as we are forecasting highs in the middle 80s to near 90 with mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. I'll have more details on your forecast coming up as we begin midday in KELOLAND.
Live from KELOLAND Media Group, Midday in KELOLAND.
2 people injured after an SUV crashed into an apartment building. And following Hurricane Milton, the process of cleaning up has started. More on the federal efforts undertaken. Good afternoon and thanks for having us in. The Sioux Falls Police Department is investigating a hit-and-run crash that left 2 people injured. Around 4 this morning, police responded to reports of a crash. At the scene, they found an SUV that crashed into an apartment building. Inside the apartment located on 3rd and Elmwood, a young boy was found with life-threatening injuries. A man was also found with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. The SUV was previously reported as stolen, and those in the vehicle had fled. Police are still searching for the occupants of the vehicle. The owners of the Minnesota Twins have announced they will explore selling the team. The Twins have been owned by the Pollard family since 1984. Twins executive chair Joe Pollard made the announcement this morning. The family said, quote, "It's our objective to find an ownership group who all of us can be proud of and who will take care of the Minnesota Twins." Now to the man who takes care of our forecast, meteorologist Scott Munn. Good morning, Scott. Afternoon, excuse me, we just crossed over.
Check that watch, yeah, 1:45.
See, okay. Yes.
How you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, pretty good. We have temperatures today that will reach the 80s to near 90 degrees. We'll keep an eye on the record books. That's where I do want to start. We're looking at our forecast high compared to what the existing record is. 87 is our forecast high in Sioux Falls, and that's forecasting 1 degree away from the record of 88. You notice in Worthington, if we hit that 85, they'll easily surpass the current record of 81 today. We also have northeastern South Dakota that may tie or break some records. Watertown kind of stands out. The forecast high of 87. The record is 86. We'll have to hit the low to middle 90s in Aberdeen to set a record, as well as Pierre, even though we are forecasting 90 in Pierre. And we're forecasting a high of 83 in Rapid City. Once that front moves through western South Dakota, you'll notice those winds will change direction to the north. Will be a little breezy. Some of those wind speeds probably come in around 15 to 25 miles per hour. And I do think we'll have thicker clouds across western South Dakota, though the front will move through dry. Currently at 76 in Sioux Falls, 74 degrees in Yankton, 73 in Mitchell, 75 in Huron, 73 in Aberdeen. We have 75 in Pierre and in Rapid City, while it's 80 in Phillip. As we do take a look at the winds, a lot of us still from a southerly direction at around 5 to 15 miles per hour. But as I go back to that graphic, notice how Buffalo's a west wind and a northwest wind in Spearfish. So that's where that front is, where we have those winds becoming west to northwest. Now on to the forecast. Temperatures in the 80s to near 90 degrees. This weekend, we are looking at cooler temperatures. We may start in the 70s, but we'll cool in the upper 50s to near 60 degrees by Sunday. And, Dan, we're still looking at maybe that chance at a shower or two as we get into the later part of next week. It's starting to show up on some of the modeling forecast as that area of low pressure will eventually move to the southwest, and ahead of it, we'll have another warming trend Wednesday, Thursday, and even going into Friday. But there's that moisture trying to develop across the central and northern plains. We'll see if that holds true, and that's the next chance we do have at seeing any hope for rainfall across the area. I'll have more details on your forecast coming up.
Thank you, Scott. As Hurricane Milton moves out of Florida, the cleanup begins. It's one of 2 major hurricanes to hit the area in the last month. Washington correspondent Vinay Simlot explains the massive effort to help people affected by the storm.
The White House says even before the storm arrived, they staged more than 10,000 active duty military, Coast Guard, and FEMA responders to help with rescue and recovery. The force of Milton storm surge caused flooding in Sarasota, and reverse storm surge emptied Tampa Bay. The wind from the hurricane was so strong it damaged the roof of Tropicana Field, the home of the Tampa Bay Rays. Vice Admiral Pete Gauthier from the U.S. Coast Guard says next his teams will survey the damage.
We're going to get a pretty quick evaluation.
He expects a lot of people will need help after the storm.
What we think is going to be pretty substantial search and rescue operations.
At the White House on Wednesday evening, President Joe Biden said federal officials were at the ready with military help, 20 million meals, and 40 million liters of water. He says the FEMA director already managing the cleanup from Hurricane Helene, and now Milton is in Florida.
So the people of Florida and all the impacted states, we've got your back. We've got your back.
The president also criticized former President Donald Trump for spreading false information about Helene, Milton, and the federal government's recovery operations.
It's un-American. It's not who the hell we are.
Trump continued his attacks at a rally in Pennsylvania.
This administration has not done a proper job at all.
Search and rescue operations began even before the storm left Florida. FEMA says they've provided 400 ambulances and 20 helicopters to help out. In Washington, I'm Vinay Simlot. Back to you.
The 2024 South Dakota State Fair is reporting an increase in tax collections from the previous year. This year's state fair generated over $266,000 in tax collections, up $44,000 from the 2023 revenues. During this year's state fair, there were 301 vendors, down from the 2023 event vendor numbers of 322. Fairgoers spent money on goods, services, and concessions during the six-day event, totaling over $3.2 million in revenue. A South Dakota woman is helping create opportunities for women in agriculture. After realizing she did not have a large network of people working in her industry, Rebecca Blue started a project to help encourage women to pursue leadership positions.
When I'm talking to women about this project and hearing their thoughts on it, it resonates with them and they're saying, yes, we need this.
In tonight's Eye on KELOLAND, we'll explain how Blue was able to secure a $1.2 million grant to help expand her project. Blaze Orange is back in style as pheasant hunters across South Dakota prepare for opening day. The resident-only pheasant season starts this Saturday, followed by the traditional opener on October 19th. South Dakota Game Fish and Parks says pheasant numbers are good despite a dry end of summer, but that also means hunters need to be aware of potential fire hazards.
Make sure you're not parking on dry vegetation. Make sure you're extinguishing cigarettes. Make sure you don't have any chains or anything dragging along the roadways that could start a fire.
We're going to hear from a hunter who's excited about next week's traditional opener, and it has nothing to do with pheasant numbers. Tonight on KELOLAND News.